I want to welcome everyone, and it's my pleasure to have you here. And it's my goal to try to do everything we can to try to help you restore lost vision. And you folks have traveled, some of you have traveled a great distance. We have people come here from as far away as California, in fact, all over the world. Singapore, England. Where are you folks from?
Australia.
Australia.
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Canada, even Canada. We want you to feel at home here. And some of you may have been frightened when you drove by that dirt road. What's going on? You weren't afraid. But I believe in healing, and this is a perfect environment for healing. Because you're in the country, it's quiet. We're not in a strip mall. There's not a lot of noise. So it's peace and quiet. And believe it or not, this used to be a church. So, you know, all healing comes from above, I believe. So here we are in church. So you're going to have a busy 4 days. Today is primarily, we're going to try to confirm your diagnosis. We're going to get some baseline testing. We're going to accurately check your vision. You're going to probably have some testing done here that you haven't had before, even at universities. We have some of the most sophisticated equipment because it's my goal to make sure that all these treatments that we're doing, number one, not going to harm your eye. So many things that modern Western medicine does may give you a short-term benefit, but long-term it can harm your eye. Give you an example, the injections that doctors are doing. These injections for wet macular degeneration may have a short-time benefit. In fact, there was a 5-year study done that showed that everybody had an increase in vision during the first year. But after that, everybody declined, and at the end of 5 years, everybody had worse vision than when they started. So why subject your eye to these injections? Also, in this study, 25% of people that got these injections developed retinal atrophy. So you have a sick retina, then the retina dies, and then you get atrophy. So atrophy is beyond death. So that's why I'm kind of embracing these alternative therapies, because I believe that we need to look at what is the underlying cause. When we address the underlying cause, then I believe that the body has the ability to heal itself, and we can gently stimulate the body with all these different modalities that we're doing. So I'm really excited you folks are here. And Ms. Lee, could you turn the camera off? I'm going to turn the camera off because I just want to go around the room. I want to, okay, it's back on. So just, I want to make some points. Everybody introduce themselves, and I want to welcome. And we have a variety of different eye conditions. I mentioned earlier, don't worry about it. It's recording, right? Yeah. So anyway, I was saying that people here have a variety of different eye conditions, and generally we go about treating eye conditions in the same manner. We look at the underlying cause, and a big contributing factor is poor nutrition. You need to have those essential building blocks. Many of you may be deficient in certain minerals. Maybe your diet isn't quite right. Maybe you have digestive problems. We're going to be talking about all these things this afternoon. Every day after lunch, we're going to give you a talk on diet, nutrition, hydration, reducing stress, things like that. Also, detoxification. You know, we're living in a very toxic environment. All of us have been exposed to heavy metals, pollutants, pesticides, genetically modified food. That's not helping the situation with our body. So we have to look at those things. We have to address those things. Also, decrease in circulation and oxygenation. As we get older, can't help it. The blood's vessels get a little blocked. We're not getting the right blood flow, so all these things are a contributing factor. And we're going to talk about how we can improve oxygenation. Then we're going to go into detail about using low-level electrical stimulation to help jumpstart the healing process. Studies have been done to show that microcurrent can increase cellular activity dramatically by up to 500%, which is amazing. And recently I just got back from Italy. I was a keynote speaker talking about microcurrent to ophthalmologists there. It seems like the Europeans are much more interested in using these alternative therapies than many eye doctors here in the United States. One thing I would like to say to all of you, that I don't want you to stop your traditional treatment until we find out exactly what's going on, and especially with glaucoma. I know these eye drops can cause irritation, redness, and systemic effects. But the bottom line is, sometimes you need those eye drops to keep the pressure at a safe level. But then as the body gets healthier and a lot of these treatments that we're going to start on you sort of kick in, then we can taper the eye drops. So, you know, I'm that eye doctor. I wear two hats. I'm a board certified ophthalmologist. I do traditional surgery. You know, I know that side of the coin, but on the other hand, I know the alternative side and how important that is. So sometimes it's a combination, because remember, I'm here to do whatever I can, whether it's traditional or alternative, to get your vision better and to keep you healthy. And sometimes it needs to be a combination of both. So I want to welcome everyone again. And do you have any questions? Any questions at this point? You'll be getting sick of me. I'll be talking every day. I'll be meeting with you privately. Today, after all your diagnostic testing, I'm going to meet with you just to confirm your diagnosis, to make sure I'm on the right track with treatment. And then tomorrow I'll be meeting you, either tomorrow or the following day. We're going to do a homeopathic intake. I'm going to talk a little bit more about homeopathy. I think homeopathy is a wonderful healing modality that really addresses the underlying problem of your disease or your condition. Okay, so question?
Yeah. What about, my reason to be here was ozone, but I didn't hear you mention that.
Oh no, we're going to be doing ozone. In fact, we do 3 different types of ozone therapy here. So ozone, I'll be giving a talk on ozone therapy too, in detail. So ozone, in fact, I believe in empowering you as a patient. You know, there's a lot of therapies like acupuncture, can be very helpful, but you have to go to the acupuncturist once a week or twice a week and get those treatments. We have a form of ozone called rectal insufflation. This is something you can do every day on your own. That's why I like microcurrent. Once you have your microcurrent device, you don't need to go to the eye doctor. You can do the treatment every day on your own. So I believe in empowering you as a patient. So once we find out what therapies work, you can take those home and you can do them. Yes?
What can we do about fluorescent lights? They're just everywhere, and I kind of melt under them after an hour or two.
Yep, that's a big problem. I'm going to be talking about light therapy, and I'm going to go into detail about what you can do to protect your eyes from the fluorescent lights.
Are the full spectrum bulbs better than plain fluorescent?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends on the source of the full spectrum light, but certainly they're much better.
I just replaced my fluorescent with the full spectrum too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we replaced these, but during my talk I'll show you the disaster it was. Thinking I replaced them with beneficial light.
Because I have all kinds of gadgets. I have an ozone generator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rife machine,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of things to try to help. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I would imagine the same would apply to the light from computer screens.
Right, computer screens can be extremely harmful to your eyes, and it depends on the spectrum of light. But I'm going to give a talk all about light therapy in detail. So we're going to go over all that. So you have a lot of good questions. A lot of good questions. Okay, so let's get started. We got a lot of testing to do today. and then I'll be meeting with each one of you. This afternoon, you'll be getting an IV. We're going to be giving you a Myers cocktail. Myers cocktail is a fortified vitamin mixture that not only has high dose of vitamin C. Can you get the word? Not only a high dose of vitamin C, but it has all the essential minerals that you may be lacking. It also has B complex vitamins. 45% of the U.S. population, or I should say the world population, has a methylation defect. So,
How long does that treatment last? Is it for a month, for 2 months? How long does it stay with you?
a very short period of time,
Uh-huh.
but I generally recommend that, you make some changes in your diet, which we'll talk about, and I advise all of you that you try to get a Myers cocktail at home. Try to get one maybe once a month, and we'll help you, coordinate you, finding someone that can do those things. Hello, latecomers here?
Late? We said 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so we heard it's 9 o'clock.
Who? 9 o'clock? I thought it was,
There were two memos, one said 9, one said 8.
Oh, the auto email.
well,
Oh, the auto email. This might be the auto email that they get.
maybe the auto email. Okay. Anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. We have to make sure that that's taken care of. Okay, so we're going to do some diagnostic testing, and I'll be meeting with each one of you. Maybe you could introduce yourself to the group.
My name is Ida, and
Ida.
I'm here because I'm hoping that the good doctor will help me with my eyesight.
And where are you folks from?
Michigan.
Michigan.
And this is my husband Dennis.
Any snow up in Michigan yet, or it's still nice?
It was snowing when we left, but,
It was cold.
Well, welcome to Florida.
yeah, thank you.
It was cold this morning, too. I think it got down to 60 degrees.
Yeah. I might say, I'm happy to see that none of our money is going into some fancy building downtown.
Oh, you missed my introduction. I believe in a good healing environment.
Ah,
And, you're in the country.
yeah,
It's quiet, nature, away from noise pollution. And this used to be a church.
oh,
So, it's kind of a sacred space here. I think all healing comes from above.
amen.
And also, my wife, I don't know if she mentioned earlier that, we do a lot of mission work. And all of our vitamin profits go to mission. So
Oh, wow. Nice.
essentially all of our profit goes towards mission work. Because I believe in not only helping people in the U.S. That are kind of abandoned by their eye doctor or frustrated, I also believe in helping all those people in third world countries that are abandoned. So some of the work we do is really amazing. We went to Papua New Guinea, which is in your neighborhood. We went to these remote islands where there is no infrastructure, no roads. And literally, I'm probably the only eye doctor that these folks will ever see in their lifetime. And we actually ferried the patients to our ship that we had the operating room on. So we operated on them and sent them back. So there are a lot of great Australian doctors on that trip. The whole team was from Australia. It's an organization called YWAM. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
YWAM, Youth with a Mission. And it kind of changed my people about the millennials. You read articles that these millennials are self-centered and all they care about is themselves. Well, these were young kids, teenagers, early 20s, and they're really dedicated to serving God and doing missionary work. So the whole ship was filled with these young people, doing mission work, helping the really needy. So it was really a rewarding trip.
My wife was a member of YWAM.
And so where was she stationed, or where did she go?
In Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah, the YWAM ships go all over the world. Okay, if there's no other questions, let's,
Did you stay on the ship or did you stay where the village?
no, we actually lived on the ship. We would go into the villages to do some screening to determine, you know, what patients needed surgery or who could benefit from different treatments. And then we did the operation on the ship, which is kind of interesting because, you know, you get waves and rough sea, so you're operating, you're moving like this.
That's when you're free, huh?
So then the captain put a line and tied the bow of the ship to a coconut tree on the shore to keep it from rocking. So
And how long did you do that?
we were there for 2 weeks in Papua New Guinea. But we recently got back from India. We did a mission in India. And the Indians, boy, the mission, you know, they call them eye camps. I've never worked harder in my life. Essentially, you drive to a remote village, maybe a 2-3 hour drive, and you screen about 500 people. And the screening is just with the flashlight, you know. And if they have a cataract, you put a white piece of tape on top of their eye. Then they get a bus, and they take all the patients to the hospital. And they have a team then that works up the patients. And then we started operating probably 8 o'clock at night, 8 to 2 a.m. in the morning. 4 operating tables. Each surgeon had 2 tables and a microscope. You operate on one, and as soon as you're done, you swing the microscope over, the next patient's ready. So I wanted to keep tabs of how many patients I was doing, but I couldn't count that fast. You know, one patient, you move over. So imagine 4 surgeons. Each one has 2 tables, you know, going through this high volume. So it was
Very efficient.
very, very efficient. I have a lot of respect for the Indian doctors. They're really, really hardworking. And this was all charity work. They weren't getting paid for any of it. So I was telling them that a large percentage of our profit goes to mission. 100% of our vitamin sales goes to mission. And for the program here, I don't know what the percentage, but we have to pay our overhead, the staff salary. We're self-funded, so when we do go to Africa, Papua New Guinea, it comes out of our pocket. I'm not getting a salary for my work.
Have you been to Sierra Leone?
We've been to Liberia.
Sierra,
No, not Sierra Leone. We've been to Liberia, Guinea, Senegal, and where else? Togo.
Oh, yeah.
Togo, Africa. In fact, we'll show you some videos of some of our mission work that we did. Jamaica, we've been to Jamaica. Wonderful experience in Jamaica.
El Salvador, Honduras,
El Salvador, Honduras,
Ecuador,
Ecuador. We have a mission
Mexico.
coming up in Ecuador. And you folks are welcome to join us. We're always looking for volunteers. Even if you don't have any medical background, you're welcome to join us on a mission. And it's very rewarding. My 16-year-old niece joined us on a mission, and she was kind of undecided what to do with her life. She's a very good dancer and singer and musician. And after the mission, which was in Haiti, now she wants to be an eye surgeon like her uncle Ed. And for her senior project, it's really funny, she actually had a model of cataract surgery, a clay model.
Oh, wow.
And she got first place in her high school for her senior project. And here I thought she wasn't paying attention, and she actually remembered a lot of the details of surgery.
Wow.
So,
Neat.
yeah. Okay,